of
Burundi.
Uganda, of Burundi. Okay, I'm confused right now.
Hmm?
I'm dead
Of
confused right
Burundi.
now.
I beg your pardon? Hello? Okay. You should be in the know of the presidents. You should always be in the know of the presidents because they change. Some die. For example, the other year, they lost their president. The Burundi president died. He was called the Pierre Nkurunziza. Right now, they have a new president. It's part of your assignment. You should try to know who is the new president. One. Secondly, are you listening?
Yes, I'm listening.
Good. Secondly, you should also know the Secretary General of the East African Community. That is part of the first term work of Primary 6. You should also know, if you are in Uganda, you should also know the members of parliament, the Ugandan members of parliament who represent Uganda and the East African community. So you should always be in the know. You should always be in the know because the questions in social studies, most of them are current, since they keep on changing. Then you should also be in the know of the functions of the East African community and how it is composed, the structure of the East African community. Then the mineral resources in the East African community. I should also be in the know of how East Africa became colonized and how the leaders, the nationalists of East Africa, how they decolonized East Africa, all of that. You should keep on reminding yourself about that, even if you're starting primary 7-1. Now, with the primary 7, our very first topic we shall be looking at physical features in East Africa. And what is a physical feature? If I may ask you, you did this in primary 5. What is a physical feature?
A physical feature is a land covering of an area.
Hmm?
Is a land covering of an area.
Landforms of an area. Land cover or landforms?
We usually use land covering, but yeah, landforms is what I mostly write.
You always use land cover, it is okay. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sorry, I lost the network. Somebody
Okay.
tried to bring me on the phone, but sorry, I think the interruption will be there. You bear with it until I use a Wi-Fi. Okay, I was saying that you say that physical features land cover of an area. You have done physical features in primary 5, not so?
Yes, I have.
And you've been answering them in some of the exams or tests along the way, not so?
Yes.
Good. Now I'm sharing. This means that I'm sharing with somebody who has a knowledge of what we're gonna look at. Now, right away, let's look at the relief features. And this is a Rift Valley. You know a Rift Valley, not so?
Yes.
Good. Now, in our engagement now, that is the objective we have to fulfill. There are three objectives. Could you read for me the objectives we are fulfilling?
To give the meaning of a Rift Valley, to describe the forces responsible for the
Mm-hmm.
formation of the Rift Valley, to identify some of the lakes and
Yes.
mountains found along the Rift Valley.
Good. Ah, that is a Rift Valley. A Rift Valley is a long depression with steep sides
Okay.
called escarpments. Okay, that's a summary of
Yes.
a definition. This is one of the newest definition which has been put by the National Curriculum Development Center. They say a rift valley is a long depression with steep sides called escarpments, which was formed as a result of faulting. So along
Okay.
Africa, we have four major rift valleys. As you may read them there, we have the Ethiopian
We
Valley,
have,
the Western Arm, the Eastern Arm. Hello? Are you following?
yes, I'm following.
I said there are four arms. There are so four arms of the Great Rift Valley, and these are Ethiopian Rift Valley, the Western Arm, the Eastern Arm, and the Malawian Rift Valley. Now, now these Rift Valleys are characterized like, or the objectives we are fulfilling are characterized by the escarpment, the steep escarpment. But of course, this escarpment will not just be seated there without anything. So it will attract other features, and mostly these would be the drainage features. In a valley, you will attract a drainage feature. Then the steep slope, the steep can be a mountain, like we may see these examples. Uh, you, There are lakes and mountains along the Rift Valley. Step one, at the landform around your local environment and tell us about the height and depth. No, let's don't follow this. I know you right now you are in the house. Maybe unless you move out and you try to look at this description. But of course, it gives you a description of what you can see, and you are able to tell what a Rift Valley is. Now, this map shows the Great Rift Valley, and all the ones who have all mentioned, these ones here we mentioned, the Ethiopian Rift Valley, the Western Arm Rift Valley, then the Eastern Arm Rift Valley, and the Malawian Rift Valley are all shown in this map. On that map, what can you recognize?
Um, like any feature,
Yes, the feature you recognize and where it is found.
I can recognize Lake Victoria, Lake Tanganyika,
Good.
um, Lake Malawi.
Lake Malawi, good. It is here. Here, this one here.
Yeah,
Then we
and
have this one. This one is Turkana, Lake Turkana.
yeah, Lake to
Now, are you seeing my cursor
oh,
moving? Are you seeing my
yeah,
cursor?
yeah,
Now, where I
and
placed it
above,
here, this is the western arm of the valley, not so. And you will
yeah,
find that where the cursor is, oops, here where the cursor is, this is Lake Tanganyika. Then this is Lake Kivu. So, sorry, this one is Lake Kivu here. Then when you move, no, this is Lake Kivu. This one is Kivu. It's in Rwanda and the DRC. Then this one is Lake Edward. This one here, where the cancer is. And this is Lake, which lake is this?
I'm not being able to see you. Okay.
I see my cancer.
I think that's Albert. Like Albert.
Exactly. That's Albert. Yes. And right now, you know its importance, of course. Do you know the major importance of Lake Albert right now to Uganda?
Yeah. Yes.
What's its importance?
It's for crude oil mining, I think.
Exactly. I used this map because it was clear. I don't mind the language, it is in French. But when I was trying to look for the maps to use to teach you, this was clearer than the rest. At least the teachers we're looking at, you're familiar with them. Now, let's go back. Well, as you see the map, and when you go back to our description of the Ethiopian, this Roman one, the Ethiopian Valley, okay, you will find out that it is here, this part. Are we together? This is the Ethiopian Valley. Your microphone should be unmuted.
Sorry, I had some noise disturbance here.
You?
Sorry, just a bit of noise. That's all.
I beg your pardon?
Just there was some kind of noise here. No.
Okay, it's fine. Sorry, it's fine. It's normal. As long as you can concentrate. Now, where I'm moving the cancer is the Ethiopian Rift Valley, okay? Then where we have been, this is the western arm of Rift Valley.
Yes.
Okay. Then from Ethiopia, we move down here. This is the eastern arm where Lake Turkana is located. This one is the eastern arm. Then this is the Malawian Rift Valley here. Lake Malawi here. So those are the main rift valleys that are found in Africa. The Ethiopian Valley, the eastern arm, the western arm, and the Malawian Rift Valley. The Great Rift Valley is the longest rift valley in the whole world, with a total length of 72,000 kilometers. And this is the Great Rift Valley. In fact, it connects from Syria. When you look at the Great Rift Valley, it's from Syria up to Malawi. But here we are looking at it in Africa. We're just looking at the portion of this Great Rift Valley in the African part. But it is called Great Rift Valley because it moves right away from Syria and down up to Zimbabwe. Are you following?
Yes.
It starts from Syria, so it goes up to Mozambique. It starts from Syria and ends at Port Beira in Mozambique towards Zimbabwe. The characteristics of rift valleys are: one, they are deep with steep escarpments, like we said in the definition. Okay, let me first remove this baby. Oh. I'm back. So the major characteristics are like you're seeing there on your screen. We have deep with steep escarpments. That's why whenever for example, deeper Bunyonyi, those lakes are in the Rift Valley area. And because of being in the Rift Valley, it means that the waters that form that Rift Valley were filled up by a variety of water, let's say a variety of water sources. It could be from rains, the regular rains, and the rivers flowing, so filling it up to where it is. But inside there, it is deep because of the pollution of the Rift Valley. Then there are lakes such as the Alpines. Another characteristic, we have escarpments. Then the second characteristic that they carry lakes. Okay, and those lakes, like you see them there, we have talked of Albert, Edward, Kivu, Tanganyika, Rukwa, Natron, Turkana, and Baringo. Those are found in East Africa. Albert, Edward are in Uganda. Then Kivu is in Rwanda and the DRC. Then Tanganyika, Rukwa, Natron are in where? In Tanzania. Then Turkana and Baringo are in, sorry, the Tanganyika in Tanzania, then these two are in Kenya. Then I forgot to write for you like Malawi, because also it neighbors where? It neighbors Tanzania. Then the other characteristic is they have mountains. The Rift Valleys have mountains. When you are in a valley, what you see, it would be a mountain. And such mountains, we have Rwenzori, Ulunguru, Usambara, and Mountain Pare. So that is a Rift Valley. Now, like I talked of the physical features that we shall be looking at, in as we are starting primary 7, and one of the very, very first physical feature we looked at is the Rift Valley. But besides that, we have relief and drainage features. This I wouldn't want to go back in them because I know you have done them in P6, you did them in primary 5, not so?
Yes.
Good. So we have started with the relief features, and one of the relief features is the Rift Valley. But again, a Rift Valley has the characteristics which I have mentioned ahead here. We said that the major ones are: it has an escarpment, it has lakes, it harbors lakes or water bodies, then mountains. Now, are you seeing what is there? The number one?
Yes.
From what we have discussed, could you do that? Could you describe it for us? The Rift Valley from the P5 work, from the primary 6 work, and the description you have just made earlier.
A Rift Valley. In primary 6, we said a Rift Valley. Okay, I don't recall the primary 6 definition, but I recall the definition you told me.
And use the primary 5 one.
I don't recall it. I don't recall that definition. but I recall the one that you told me earlier.
You call it the one you had, the one I told you earlier.
Yeah.
It's just when I tell you to describe, I've not told you to define. You can just use different words, not specifically whatever I gave you. Just describing from the characteristics I've given, from the definition we gave, and from what you have seen on this map. Okay?
Uh,
Just describe.
yes.
Yes.
A Rift Valley is is a long, with steep
Let's go back.
sides.
Hmm. Uh-huh. Hello.
I recall what you had told. Hello.
This one. You are calling this one you are seeing right now on the screen.
Yes,
Are you
that's the
seeing
one
my
I was
screen?
recalling.
Can you tell it to us? What is a Rift
Yes,
Valley?
Rift Valley is a long depression with steep sides called escarpments caused by faulting.
The steep side called escarpment,
Escarpment
which was formed
as a result of faulting.
instead of using this word, or you can say which was formed due to faulting. Okay,
Mm,
you can say which was formed due
yes,
to what? Due to
faulting.
faulting. Let us change. Which was formed due. I think that one is simpler.
Mm,
That is simpler, not so.
yes.
Now, as you are handling Rift Valley, leave alone this
Mm,
assignment I've given you. You may be asked, for example, in your PLE, because our target is now doing PLE, so
yes.
you may be asked, for example, that what is a Rift Valley? Or what do you understand by the term Rift Valley? And also may be asked, describe a Rift Valley. Those three statements will be asking for the same
Mm,
thing. Uh, from your previous teachers of, let's say, mathematics, science, English, have they been giving you
yeah.
activities and you upload them on your account?
Not really.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, not really.
You have not yet gone through the process of uploading activities, right?
Yeah, not yet.
So how have you been doing the activities? What is the progress? How have you been doing the progressive work?
I do sometimes like do I do ask my teacher for any questions if I do have a confusion according to the books I have right now.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what we mostly do, or what me and my friends mostly do.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Now, um, as as part of our work, first of all, you should have it in mind that in primary 7, we are looking at
Mhm.
Africa. And
Yeah.
the theme is always living together in Africa. So here we are looking at
Mm.
whatever in most things that we have been looking at in primary 5, but now here we're looking at them in the perspective of the entire what? Of the entire Africa. Because after this part of the physical features, we shall look at what? We shall look at climate in Africa, we shall look at vegetation in Africa, then we shall look at people in Africa. You get it?
Mm.
And as part of our activities, there's one activity which I've skipped, and it's going to be part of the activity for you to do for me, because you have done it in primary 6, you did it in the primary what? In primary 5. That's why I skipped it intentionally. I just wanted us to start with Rift Valley as part of the what? The relief physical features. And this part, I'm wondering if you can note it down. Do you have you should be having a pen and a paper with you, not so?
Yeah, I
Okay.
actually
The
already took
location
a
of
screenshot of this.
Africa. You actually,
I took a screenshot of the
you took a
activity.
screenshot?
Yeah,
This one here, I'll just give this one here. Okay.
yeah, the one you have
Now
just.
with that, I've displayed for you. Now on that one, we shall add there. We shall add there another what? Another activity. And this one is going to is now looking at, I'm trying to find out if you remember what you learned in primary 5 and primary 6 as the introduction part. Because now at P6, there are some things really we should not be repeating, because you have done them in primary 5 and in primary 6. But now let me try to see how you will look for them and use the knowledge of primary 5 and primary 6 to present them. And this, you provide the location. In case of any spelling error, please, you can alert me. Provide the location of Africa on the globe, or world map. That's one. Then, oh, sorry. Then secondly, you give the direction of Africa from, is that the correct spelling of Antarctica?
Yes.
Good. Then measure measure the regions that are formed African continent. Then I think Antarctica, I may be wrong. Yes, there's R here. It's R missing. Then 7. Good. So this would have this from question number 4 up to question number 7 would have been the first parts of the introduction of our topic or of our primary 7 work. But since you have had something in line with this from primary 5 and primary 6, I decided to prepare them for you as an assignment so that we switch directly to the very first topics of our the second topic of our lessons that we shall be conducting together. So you try to do for me this in relation to what I've given you earlier. Those are in total there are 7 numbers. This one is from what we've just looked at. Then this one is taking the level of how you remember the previous work. Are we together?
Yes.
Good. Now, as we proceed, can you ask me any questions now before I proceed?
I beg your pardon?
Asking, because at the end of the day, you are the key person in this.
Yes.
Any question?
Not really, but I will inform you immediately I have one.
Okay. Now, are you seeing this word I'm highlighting?
Yeah.
Which word is that?
Major.
Major. Good. Now, you should always be careful with the questions that you get. In questions, there is always a key word. And a key word is what determines the correct answer that the examiner will need from you. For example, let's try to answer this together. Number 7, even if it is your assignment, I want to see how you understand the word major. Could you give the major economic activities?
Farming.
Farming. Good. Correct.
Fishing.
Fishing. Correct.
Farming. Fishing.
Correct.
Trade.
Trade. Okay. Correct.
And mining.
Very good. Excellent. That's what I was waiting for. Mining. Mining, trade, fishing, and what was the first one you gave?
Farming.
Farming. Now, why do I say that the excellent? When you look at the works of Africans, even before the coming of colonialists, those activities you just mentioned took place. For example, if you remember your notes about your works about migration, and when you look at this area here, in fact, it is called Rift Valley area, the Great Rift Valley, but again, it is also called the Great Lakes region. Now, in this Great Lakes region, what do you expect at a lake? Of course, you will expect fishing, not so? And when you look at the immigrants that were migrating from different places to where? To to East Africa, or that migrated within Africa, you'll find out that among the major activities that they did was fishing, then farming. When you look at Uganda, Uganda is part of Africa. Our ministers or our leaders have always told us that Uganda's backbone is agriculture, meaning that it's one of the traditional activities that Uganda has done and will always do, or should cherish, should give an upper hand, because it has been done by our ancestors. We are doing it, so we should develop it for the future of your children, our grandchildren. So it is the backbone. And among the major economic activities done on the African continent is farming. Then you talked of mining. You remember in your primary 5, when you're looking about the Stone Age period, you will also look at it in primary 7, and you also look at it, I believe, in primary 6. The Stone Age period. How many Stone Age periods are there? We have the early, the middle, and the new. Not so?
Yes.
Now, in the new Stone Age period, that's when man lived a settled life. But this is after the discovery of 2 things. 1, fire, then 2, using fire in making iron tools. Those iron tools were made after mining. Now, to date, Africa is still bragging of minerals in our land. Go to South Africa, in the KwaZulu-Natal province, you will hear about those provinces as you go on, since you have begun this part of social studies. Go to Tanzania, there's gold mining. Come to Uganda in the Mubende Busia, there's gold mining. Go to the Democratic Republic of Congo in the Katanga region, there's gold and diamond mining. Okay, so mining is one of the major economic activities that Africa, and the Europeans, Americans come for it. The Arabs come to trade with us because we have a lot of minerals in the ground. I believe in primary 6, you have been looking at natural resources in East Africa among the last topics. And you have seen which resources we have in East Africa. So such resources are also split in other areas of what? Of Africa. Then lastly, you talked about trade. Before the coming of the foreigners still, Africans have been trading. And our trade was on barter system. You give me posho, for example, there wasn't posho then, but I'm just using a latest example. You give me posho, I give you cassava flour. You give me beans, I give you nuts. Get it? So trade has been there and it is there. So those are the major economic activities that are done on the African soil. So that was a hint, but I will expect you to present this work as you'll be presenting the previous questions from number 1 up to number what? Up to number 8. Then I think this can be enough for these activities can be enough for today, instead of adding more, because as we progress, we shall be looking at activities that are done. For example, we said there are steep escarpments. We shall be looking at activities that are done in this one in the Rift Valley. We are looking at activities that are done in these lakes under the Rift Valley. Like, for example, you give an example of crude oil, which is found in Lake what? In Lake Albert. We shall also be looking at other activities that are done on mountains. If we can give examples of, for example, Mount Rwenzori, it is the major attraction of tourists in in Uganda. Go and see the peak. There's also the mountain. Before that peak, there's also a game park. a national park, which we shall also look at the activities that take place there as we progress with our works. Now, I expect questions from you. You have taken the screenshot of the second part of the questions. This one here. Hello?
Yes, hello.
Shivan,
Yes, I'm here.
have you taken the screenshot of the second part of the questions?
Yes, I have.
You have, huh? Okay. You take this one so that they should look similar with the previous one. Take this instead.
Okay.
I can see you are seeing how my internet is underlaid
I'm
with
wait.
all my.
I have taken another screenshot.
Good. So now uh, let's now share. What are the questions on what we have just learned? So works that you had been learning. If you have a question, you see when I was talking, I was also trying to hint on some work of primary of the previous classes you have gone through. And you can ask such works which are related to what we have just introduced. Yes, I will listen to you.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Could you please repeat what you said? I'm not getting you so well.
Oh, my network is breaking.
Yeah, it's kind of breaking on my side.
Um, okay, I'm saying that
Yes.
from what I've talked about, which we have just started in primary 5, in primary 7,
Yeah.
could you be having any question that you would want to know from me if you related it with what you did in primary 5 and primary 6, which is in line with this work we have just been looking at?
Mm, not really like a serious question.
Mm.
I
Okay.
don't think I have any.
Can I ask? Can I ask you?
Sure.
This one is an oral question, not part of what you will present. Uh,
Okay.
in the definition of a Rift Valley, at the end,
Yes.
we talked about faulting.
Yes.
Okay, sure.
Yes, it's true.
What is faulting? Hello? That's your
Hello.
primary 5 work, first term. Yes, please.
Faulting is the Folding is like the production of production of salts and rock formation.
The production of what?
Hello,
I'm
salts
listening.
and rock production and for in a rock formation.
Hmm? Hmm?
Hello
Yes, please.
is the production of faults in rock formation.
Hmm. Okay. Now, now next time, thank you.
Yes,
This definition, I believe you must be Googling it. But next time you are in a lesson, close to you, your primary 5 books, primary 6 books, and the atlas, so that you proceed. When something arises, you cross check. Okay.
yes, okay.
Good. Thank you. Okay. I think for now we can call it a day. I believe you have another lesson after this. And call it a day. Make sure you do my work so that next time we meet, you should be presenting it. You should be presenting it. It's been nice interacting with you, and for you have been audible enough and you have been interactive in the lesson. Hello, did you hear that?
Uh, yeah, I'm kind of getting you, but you're breaking.
Yeah, I'm saying for now we can call it off. You prepare for the next lesson, but please do my work. And I've said thank you for the cooperation. You have been resourceful and interactive in the whole entire lesson.